How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're finally going to be wrapping up What If Cell Was Reincarnated. Now, real quick, I just wanted to say that I'm a complete idiot. I, for some reason, forgot to include the Broly movie in this scenario. So, please forgive me, but we're gonna head right into that before the events of Moro to tackle the Broly movie. Again, sorry I forgot to add it, I have no idea why I didn't. We're in the last fully completed arcs now though, the Broly and Moro arcs. And while this won't be the last part forever as Granola is still going, it's the last of what we're going to be covering for now. If you missed the last part, then make sure to click the link up above to go and check it out. As always, huge shout out to all of my amazing patrons for all of your amazing support, as it really means a lot. With all that out of the way, let's wrap up the story of Lek. Now, let's head a little bit back in the story to before Beerus came to Earth and head into the events of Broly. Now, the big thing this part is that Frieza has been dead for quite some time, as Lek killed him back in Resurrection F. He was never revived for the Tournament of Power, since there are plenty of strong fighters to take his place, so he's been dead for quite a while now. Though, the Frieza Force has still been trying to thrive since his defeat, and are deployed to go out to other planets to try and find any recruits that they can. This leads Chi-Lai and Lemmo to Vampa as normal where they encounter Broly. And everything with them plays out as it did normally. Instead of meeting with Frieza though, they meet with Berry Blue and Kikuno, who think that this new Saiyan is what they need to be able to revive Frieza. They take him to Earth, and this is when Goku and Vegeta arrive to stop him. Paragus still wants his revenge on Vegeta, so Broly attacks these Saiyans as normal and the fight begins. Vegeta and Broly fight with Vegeta faring a bit better than usual due to him being stronger in this timeline. Though, Broly is able to adapt to how strong Vegeta is and knock him around some. Vegeta is able to push him back with the Super Saiyan God state, however, which leads to Akari Broly being born, and Vegeta getting beaten around again. God Goku then comes into fight, which is exactly what Berry Blue and Kikuno wanted. With the Saiyans distracted, they're able to get the Dragon Balls together, and they wish for Frieza to be revived. Though Shenron says that it's impossible, as Frieza has already been brought back to life once before. The two minions didn't expect to hear that, and Vegeta quickly teleports over to them and knocks them both out before they can blob another wish. With that problem taken care of, Vegeta says that they don't need any wishes right now, and Shenron departs. With all that over and done with, the fight between Goku and Broly can continue as normal, up until it's time for Paragus to die, as without a Frieza, there's nobody around who can actually kill him. Though this time, to make things more interesting, let's say that Astray Energy Blast actually did take him out during a fight. And seeing how his father became collateral damage, Broly transforms into his Super Saiyan form and begins to really beat down on Goku and Vegeta. The two realize that they can't win on their own, and need to escape to go and try something else. Though they can't just leave Broly here to go wild, and this is when Lek and Gohan come in to help. Piccolo telepathically contacted them to let them know the situation, so the two showed up to help. Goku and Vegeta instant transmission away, and the two fight him off. They are really surprised on how powerful this guy is, and are kicked around pretty heavily. Lek is pretty surprised at another challenge, and this Saiyan certainly is another one. He's not as strong as Jiren, he doesn't think so, but he's getting there pretty fast due to his power rising more and more as he fights. Lek is able to not be taken out right away, but he thinks he would do a much better job if he could regain that form he used against Jiren during the Tournament of Power. He hasn't been able to access it since then on his own, and he doesn't like having to use the power of a Spirit Bomb every time to get this power. But right now, if he wants to stay in the fight, he really doesn't have a choice. Lek flies into the air to gather a Spirit Bomb, as Gohan is beaten down pretty hard by Broly. He now has to hold Broly off for 3 people now, and that isn't really doing him any good. Luckily, Gohan is able to make sure Broly doesn't spot the Spirit Bomb, and this gives Lek enough time to gather enough energy and absorb it all inside himself to regain that spirit power he got during the tournament. Lek launches back down towards Broly to save Gohan, and Broly wasn't expecting to actually be hurt by his attacks. Lek can now match Broly in power, and does a pretty good job fighting along with him. None of them are able to gain the advantage, but are pretty evenly matched blow for blow. Unfortunately, as the fight progresses, Broly's powers keep increasing while Lek's are decreasing. Since his power isn't his own, he's unable to really keep it up for very long, and is cursing himself for not being able to use his power by himself. Luckily, Gohan isn't out for the count yet, and him and Lek team up once more with a Kamehameha to hold Broly back. This time though, Broly is pumping more and more power towards the two than ever, and they're not going to be able to hold it back enough. To make matters worse, Lek loses his spirit form of his, and they're helpless, not knowing what to do. Suddenly, the blast sent by Broly dissipates, and Broly is knocked back by a great deal. The two wonder what just happened, and are very surprised to see Gogeta in front of them. Goku and Vegeta have fused for the very first time. Lek can't believe the kind of power that a fusion can have, as literally every time he sees it, either it being Gohaku or now Gogeta, it's always more powerful than him. Gogeta thanks the two for being able to hold Moro off, and he transforms into his Super Saiyan form to fight with Broly once more. The fight between Gogeta and Broly then happens as it does in the Broly movie, with Gogeta Blue coming out on top and blasting Broly away. Except, I want to believe that Gogeta wouldn't kill Broly, as that would have made Goku and Vegeta, in turn, look like assholes. I'm gonna say Gogeta just decides to knock out Broly. Luckily, as we saw in the movie, once Gogeta fired his Kamehameha at Broly seemed to regain some sort of consciousness of himself, and Gogeta would realize this, and tries to reason with him into not attacking them. Thankfully, once Broly recovers some more, he's able to get his mind right and not attack our group. Gogeta managed to scare the insane out of him, and now Broly is calm. He's still angry that his father is dead, but Gogeta makes sure to let him know that in a year's time, they're able to revive his father with the Dragon Ball, so he won't be dead for very long. Broly is really happy to hear this, and the Saiyans invite him to help them out on Earth with training, as he has a lot of potential, and they can help him control his powers. Chilai and Lemo are a little suspicious of these guys, but they did have a chance to kill him and didn't, so they decided to stay and help out Broly on Earth too. Things end very nicely for the Broly movie here with him staying on Earth, and things are finally going back to normal. And now we can head to the Moro arc proper. Hey everybody, sorry to interrupt the video, but it's sponsorship time. This video is sponsored by Fandom Ion, who sells some really great anime and manga merch, and a bunch of other cool merch for some pretty cool prices, such as Marvel merch as well for all you Marvel nerds like me. If you want to get these fine items for an even lower price, then make sure you click the link in the description down below and put in a discount code DAMON for not 5% off, but 10% off of your order. Again, that's code DAMON for 10% off of your order. Hopefully, you won't regret your purchases. Now, let's get back into the video. As we established in the last part, the beginning of the Moro arc would take place semi-as normal. The big difference being that Gohan went up into space with Goku and Vegeta to try and beat Moro. Of course, that didn't work out, and now Moro is stronger than in canon, having absorbed Gohan's energy as well. They all managed to survive thankfully, with Goku going off to train with Miras, and Vegeta heading to Yardrat. Gohan headed back to Earth to get some allies for the fight ahead, and of course the first person he went to for help was Lek. Lek is surprised to hear that there is already another supervillain out there, though he's kinda happy as the last big villain he really faced was Frieza, so he's eager to face this one as well. Gohan tells him it won't be that easy as this guy is able to drain energy, and while they were a lot stronger than him at first, he drained them of power that way they weren't able to do much. Lek thinks this will definitely be a problem, but they shouldn't need to get to that point as he'll try to wipe this guy out before the energy is able to be drained. Gohan thinks this isn't the best plan ever, but Lek is still a kid, so it makes sense. The two go up to train in the hyperbolic time chamber to prepare, and while they're inside, the Marcaretti gang attacks as normal, and Piccolo deals with them pretty easily. Once the gang is defeated, Piccolo informs Gohan and Lek on what is happening, and once the two exit the chamber, 7-3 and the others two names I can't pronounce show up. 7-3 copies Piccolo's powers, and they all begin to fight. Lek is able to quickly take down the panda dude, who I think his name is Yunba or something, while Gohan is able to fight off 7-3 normally as he did in canon, since he knows Piccolo's moves inside and out. 7-3 is taken aback by this power, and realizes he needs to change the tide of this battle fast, so he activates his Moro powers and begins to drain the others. Lek is surprised to feel his energy leaving his body so fast, and him and Gohan transform further to try and get 7-3 to stop. They're able to get a couple of good hits in, but since 7-3 is drained their energy too fast, they revert back to normal and are beaten down hard. Moro has them retreat from Earth as normal though, and Jocko is able to buy them 2 extra months of training. Once Lek is all healed up, he is humiliated. These guys cheated by draining him of his hard-earned power. If only he was like his dad, then maybe he wouldn't need to get all worked up on his power being stolen. Wait, maybe that's the way he can help in the fight. His dad has infinite energy, so if him and his aunt can show up here, then they can distract that 7-3 guy while he goes in for the hard strikes. Of course, that's gonna be easier said than done, as he still hasn't been able to access that new spirit power on his own. He was able to get that kind of power after absorbing the Spirit Bomb, though he doesn't think he always needs the Spirit Bomb to access that kind of power. It really felt like his body evolved after using this power, so he thinks he has to try and evolve his power further to get energy like this again. He'll continue to train with Gohan in the Time Chamber, though he would like it if Goten and Trunks came along too. They've been his training buddies forever now, and they're able to get Super Saiyan 3 as Gotenks, a form neither one of them could really achieve on their own. So maybe with their advice, he can try and find a way to get a power on his own like that. Goten and Trunks would be happy to train Lek again, and as Gotenks will be able to help him get this new form of his. The gang all train together to try and get more powerful, and help Lek achieve this spirit form to grow in power. As they continue on into Chamber, Gotenks is able to help Lek look inside himself. He is the reincarnation of a bug guy who had everybody's DNA. He has been able to use that DNA to get his super form and his golden form. Though, with everybody's energy into Spirit Bomb, maybe he was able to amplify the DNA of everybody else and boost his powers greater with his energy. So what he really needs to do is look inside himself for the powers of everybody else he has, and he'll be able to achieve this form again. Lek thanks Gotenks for the help as he realizes how mature they've gotten since the Boo days, and they'll continue to train together. Eventually, the 2 months are up, and it's time for the group to face off against Moro and his goons. The Z-Fighters all come together once again, and this time, Broly is here, as he wants to help out his new friends in fighting too. 7-3 and the others attack the main group, and Lek and Gohan try their best against him to make sure they doesn't take everybody's energy, especially Broly's, as he basically has limitless power, so if that gets taken, they're all screwed. Thankfully, Lek's plan does help out, as 17 and 18 show up to beat down on 7-3, as their energy can't be taken. When 7-3 is taken down, this is when Moro himself shows up on the planet to feast on everybody. And instead of trying to fight himself, he sends in Saganbo to finish these guys off. Lek is pretty insulted that the lackey is sent in, so he sends transmissions in front of Moro to take him on himself. Though Lek is pretty much bodied in no time at all and sent flying into the ground. He doesn't know what that's about and keeps trying to go against Moro, but he just keeps getting the crap kicked out of him. He won't give up, but after hearing everybody having such a rough time with Saganbo, he leaves Moro to go and help against him. Thankfully, with Lek and Broly back to help, Saganbo isn't too much for them, with everybody against him and Moro pumping him with too much energy, he is taken down. Moro is impressed that they can go against his minion, but after laughing at Lek, he says they're nothing against him. Though thankfully, Goku makes his way to the planet with the Ultra Instinct Omen form, so he's able to hold off Moro. This fight pretty much goes exactly as it does in canon, with Lek surprised on the power of Ultra Instinct and how Goku has improved with it a lot since the tournament. Not enough, unfortunately, as since Moro has also gotten stronger than in canon, Goku is knocked out of his UI form and left to die. Lek isn't going to let that happen and charges Moro once again to save Goku. He's knocked away once more, and Moro tells him that he is nothing to him, so to stop. Him? Nothing? The perfect being? He doesn't think so. Lek says he's not going to let Moro destroy his home, as him, all of his friends, and his family won't let that happen. They fought for too long to let it all be over now, and he's going to show them the combined might of all the Z-Fighters. Lek powers up, and after finding all of his strength, he powers up once again into his spirit form. Moro didn't expect as much of an increase in power, and is clocked by Lek to send him away from Goku. Lek and Moro begin their battle now, with Lek trying to avoid the energy absorption like Goku did, and he keeps beating down on Moro with the Z-Fighters' attacks. The most devastating one being his own Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. Moro isn't going down that easily though, and stays in the fight, until he gets punched really hard in the back by Vegeta. Lek is happy to see Vegeta here, as in all honesty, he hasn't used his power yet, and needs a break. Vegeta says he has a plan to stop him himself, so Lek should stand back anyways. Vegeta shows off his new Forced Spirit Fission, which is able to depower Moro by a great deal. All of the Namekians taken were brought back, and all of the energy he took from the 3 Saiyans is given back to them as well. Moro knows he's lost now, and flies up to go and absorb 7-3. Lek sees him blast off and isn't gonna let him get away, so he sends transmissions up to him and knocks him back towards the ground. Moro curses his child for stepping in his way, and begins to fight him. But with most of his energy gone, he's nothing to Lek now. Gohan then appears next to Lek to keep him away from 7-3 as much as possible, and a dual Kamehameha they fire does the trick fine. Once Moro is blasted back towards the ground, Vegeta launches a full power Final Flash at Moro to disintegrate him and end his reign of terror for good. Yep, Vegeta managed to take out the main villain. The remnants of Moro's goons, including 7-3, are taken into the Galactic Prison, and the others are all healed up. Goku still hasn't gotten the mastered form of UI down, but is happy that the situation didn't get worse than it needed to. Moro is defeated, and everything pretty much goes back to normal. Lek goes back to 17's island with him, and greets the Cell Juniors defending the island. He managed to save his home quite a lot now, and is really happy that he's taken the Cell name in a new direction. Literally too, since his name is Cell backwards. His home is safe now, as long as its reincarnated soul will be around to protect it. Good thing too, as someday it looks like his past will come back to bite him. For now though, that's the end of What If Cell was reincarnated. It's been a wild ride through this scenario, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you guys want to see more videos like this one, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I'll definitely continue on with others like this if you want. Thank you all so much for joining me for this scenario, and until we meet again. See you later!